Good day, everyone. I hope you all had a good Saturday. My Saturday was me working, not entirely. I worked to mid, so 10 to 6 o'clock. Went pretty smoothly for the most part, yeah. We were a little slow, and yet we weren't slow. It was weird. It's weird when you have two people the whole time. That's when it's weird because I've gotten used to working with the majority of my shifts by myself. Or maybe just about half of my shift by myself. And so it's weird to come in when someone's there and then know you're going to be leaving when someone's there instead of having to work one way or the other around it. I like it a lot better. It's just better in general. You can get things done. You can't fall behind because you're being hit too hard with a bunch of people, because you can get through it twice as fast with one person making smoothies and the person ringing them up and stuff like that. And then you have all the extra time to do the other stuff. So that was that. And I came home, had dinner. My mom made dinner. And then I came over here and watched a couple of my videos. And then I watched the wrestling WWE NXT Takeover pay-per-view, not pay-per-view, special event. Not really pay-per-views anymore, they're only on the WWE network. So, on this one in particular, NXT has been filming at Full Sail University here in Orlando. With a few exceptions, they've been spreading that brand out a little bit. But it's got a huge following, everyone loves it. Especially seems to have taken off more than any other aspect of it is the women's wrestling. They do a great job. I mean, they're great in the ring, and as I've mentioned here before, I brought it up because Ric Flair's daughter Charlotte came in to play a smoothie one time, and that's when I brought it up and kind of explained it a little bit. So in this particular one, it wasn't at Full Sail University. This was actually at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. In the same building that tomorrow's SummerSlam, which is the second biggest special event, pay-per-view basically. Not a pay-per-view, but it still is, in regards to how they refer to it. It's a special event, they call it now, anyway. It's the second biggest thing of the year after WrestleMania. And in the same location, they have NXT. And SummerSlam sells out. They're going to have Monday Night Raw there the next night, sold out. But NXT, the small brand that normally just runs out in a small studio at Full Sail University, sells out the Barclays Center. It's insane to think that that actually happened. That's how big of a following it has, and the crowd was on fire the whole time. I'd say match of the night was the women's match. The NXT Women's Champion Sasha Banks versus Bayley. And they kind of have like a unofficial, a thing that's been big in wrestling, if you don't know anything about wrestling, with a little bit of history here. A faction, not really a faction, just a group. Yeah, it was a faction of 4 horsemen. They were called the 4 Horsemen. They consisted of Ric Flair in most incarnations. They had changed members occasionally, but most commonly considered one, Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the others, but those are the 2 that are usually in the group for sure. Anyway, with Ric Flair's daughter, Charlotte, in NXT, and this push to really bring back real wrestling instead of just the WWE divas doing divas things and having silly little matches that are just nothing to really take seriously most of the time. They kind of formed a sisterhood, and they call themselves unofficially the 4 Horsewomen, because they can't officially, because Ronda Rousey has her 4 Horsewomen in UFC, and I think they took it or something. So, but they unofficially call themselves that. So they're the Four Horsewomen of NXT to get around that. But they don't actually officially use it in storylines and stuff. But they are Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Bayley. 3 of those 4 went up to the main roster recently. But the 4th one didn't. Bayley got left behind. And Sasha Banks has been, well, they've all been bouncing back and forth, but Sasha Banks has been pulling double duty because she's the NXT Women's Champion, and she's also on the main roster. And so it was pretty much a foregone conclusion that Sasha needed to drop that belt. So they have a match, Sasha versus Bayley, the one that's staying down at NXT. So, of course, it's pretty much, like I said, a foregone conclusion that Bayley's going to win the championship. But it's just this huge deal that she does, because just the way they bring the story around, it's like she really, really wanted this and all this other stuff. And so, and then at the end, they kind of had a moment where the 4 horsewomen all got in the ring and they celebrated and they're hugging each other, even though Sasha's a bad guy and she shouldn't be. But they're breaking character and just doing that. And that's kind of a nod to another incident that happened at Madison Square Garden between 4 friends that were in a group called The Click. 4 friends, 2 of them are going to be leaving to WCW, 2 of them were going to stay in WWE, and 2 of them are good guys, 2 of them are bad guys, and yet they all came out, they got in the ring, and they hugged, and they celebrated together. And 2 of them left, 1 of them was the champion, the 4th guy got punished for it. He got basically his career put on hold for a whole year, and he wasn't able to really win championships or anything like that. He was just kind of put through the ringer and not treated very well as a punishment for breaking the rules, as the only one that could really be punished. That man, Triple H, is the person now running NXT. So it was a nice little nod to that. So there were lots of little things thrown in here and there that I liked, that took a nod into history and also the appreciation of real wrestling and all that stuff. So, I mean, that's basically going to be the entirety of my vlog here. I just gave you a review of NXT. I only gave you a review of 1 match, but still, in my opinion, that was the match of the night. They did better than anyone else, although they all did good jobs. It was interesting to see the different directions they went with it and stuff. But yeah, I have nothing else to add. It just ended, and so I decided to get on here and talk about it while it's fresh. Sorry if you didn't want to hear about that, but it's pretty cool stuff, actually. So once you get past the eye rolling and actually appreciate what goes into it, it's really cool, I think. So I'm going to close out the vlog here. So good night, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow.